Hi guys, I'm your co-host NIKKE VA. Thank you to Pyrrhixz as our host for having me here today. And let's all give a warm welcome to Eve, aka Rebecca Hanssen. Yay!
Hello. Hello. Please tell me that can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you fine.
We can hear you.
I feel like that was my fault that NIKKE wasn't on in time because we were talking about our cats and dogs.
You know what? That's fair.
So I take that.
We love
that's private
our
information.
Animals.
That's fair. It's classified.
For babies.
So I guess this is unique because we've interviewed a lot of NIKKE VAs, but like you're technically a part of the same sphere under Shift Up, but we've never gone past just interviewing people from like collabs or other games or IPs. So I guess we can start out. Tell us how you got into specifically voice acting, because I looked at your the roles that you had for what you've done so far, and it looks like you do a lot of gaming voice acting. So how did you exactly get into the industry?
I know. So I started as a screen actor, and then I had a friend basically who just constantly was like, "You are good at voices. You like putting on voices." As you may have noticed, I'm actually Scottish, which I can only, yes, sorry, I don't sound anything like Eve. But you know, I love putting on voices. I love channeling other people. And he was like, "You should get into voice acting. Why have you not thought about this before?" And I'm like, "Oh, maybe not."
You know, don't even worry about it. We're like American and we can't tell the difference because we're ignorant.
You sure you got coffee in there, or are you joining Rebecca and you have whiskey as well?
Oh, I want that whiskey. Let's have that whiskey.
No.
See, chat agrees with me. We don't
Chat's
know
a
anything.
hive mind. They're gonna agree with whatever we say.
sorry for distracting. Go ahead.
You're okay. You're okay.
No, that's great. So I sound exactly like Eve. So in 2019, I decided, okay, well, I might as well, you know, get a voice reel done, try and get an agent. I was really lucky to sign with the agents that I'm still with, and then COVID kicked off, and actually, timing-wise, it was incredible because you know, film, TV, theater all completely shut down, but voice work kept going because so long as you had a home studio and a microphone, you could kind of work. And obviously I did not have a professional home studio at that point, but absolutely told everybody that I did. And I built a blanket fort in the corner of the room, and I borrowed a mic off a friend, and we worked.
You know, I actually hear that a lot.
Yeah. That was just the thing in COVID, and mercifully the studios were like, well, this is all we have to work with, so we're just gonna have to.
You know what? If everyone does it, that means it works. It's totally good.
Exactly. So I think, yeah, just from there, it kind of took off. I got really lucky. That yeah, just one thing led to another, and I mean, I think my first job was Baldur's Gate 3, which
I was gonna ask
started
about
just before COVID. Yeah. So that is, yeah, I'm fully aware how jammy that is. So I got very lucky. But yeah, then it just kind of rolled on from there, which is incredible, and I'm loving it.
Or I guess, like, I don't know if these are all your roles. I'm looking at behind the voice actor, but for the roles that you're credited for, you're in a lot of like very big reputable games. So I guess, like, how did that happen? Like, how did you get involved in so many big IPs? Like, what was the story behind you getting involved as Eve in Stellar Blade?
Don't know. Sheer goddamn luck. Yeah, I mean, I auditioned like anybody else, and I didn't really know exactly what it was for. Everything when you're auditioning is code names. They kind of give you like a very brief character description, maybe drawing, and then you just, and a kind of rough idea of what they want them to sound like, sometimes a vocal reference, and then you just go along to the audition, or you send in a demo, and then they're like, yeah, cool, come on in, and to be honest, again, I didn't know. I don't think I realized that it was for the lead part either.
Oh, that's crazy.
And I know. And I didn't realize like how long it would be recording for. Sometimes you get a part and you're recording for like, I don't know, 3 hours, and then there's another time you get a part and you're recording for 3 months, and then sometimes 3 years. Like you just have no idea. It's all very kind of hush hush. And I do try now, and whenever I turn up at the studios, I'm like, so just, are you allowed to tell me what this is actually for? Just and like a rough time scale. Yeah, it's all very secretive, even from us. So so no, it was a joyous surprise when it came out, really, and I, just the amazing reaction to it. I was like, this is incredible, because obviously I'd gotten very attached to her, as I do with anybody that I voice. And I think we were recording for 3 months, which was on and off. I was filming something at the same time, so we were kind of in and out. But I got very attached to her.
You're attached to your characters. I just have to say, I'm sorry for Alfira.
Did you play as the Dirge?
Call her out. Call her out. Call her out.
But, we love you regardless.
I remember one of my friends messaged me after it came out, and he'd clearly just started his Dark Arts run, and he was like, spoiler alert, you just died. I thought you were recording this for 4 years. Like, why have you had like a few lines and then you're dead?
Yes,
I'm like,
I was You called me out. You got me.
I guess going on the topic, kind of steering away from Baldur's Gate, going back to Stellar Blade, did you anticipate, I guess, how worldwide acclaimed that game would be on release? Like, how absolutely massive Stellar Blade would be when it first... I'm pretty sure, like, Jack can correct me or if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure on launch, didn't it outperform every other, like, PlayStation PC port that had been released up until that point? It was like...
massive.
It was huge.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure it was
that's amazing.
100,000 highest revenue PlayStation port on Steam worldwide. All thanks
That's
to
amazing.
good booty.
Listen, great voice acting. Boys, you guys are not doing this right.
I guess another thing too is because it was NIKKE is not a super big game compared to Stellar Blade. But I know you're not super familiar with NIKKE. I don't know if you brushed up on it before we started the stream, but the community is like so dedicated. Nearly all of my friends hopped on Stellar Blade when the collab came out. So there was another huge spike, especially that they did a gacha skin in the game. If you bought the actual copy of Stellar Blade, like it shot up again recently on the store. It's a very strong title right now on Steam. It's crazy. Just to see how...
That's really cool.
I think it's like 3 million worldwide copies, right, chat? Something like that. Yeah, it's a massive game. It's a massive game. So I guess
Everyone loves your voice.
now knowing that metric, I guess, how does it differ from you, say, being a TV actor and having people see you physically versus knowing that something that you put in with just your voice has reached this many people? Like, what is the difference between that for you personally?
I don't know. I guess, if you'd been in a show, like a TV show where 3 million people had watched it, you'd probably, you'd walk the street and somebody would be like, oh my god, hey, are you Thingy from Thingy? Whereas it doesn't change my life in any way, really. Which is quite nice. But also, yeah, I guess, if Stellar Blade goes again, and I know there's, I think a Stellar Blade 2 has been announced, but I haven't heard anything about it, and nobody tells me anything. So I think the pressure, maybe when I'm in the booth, I'll feel it slightly more the second time around. I'll be like, oh god. But it's really difficult to picture that. I think, even when you're acting in TV, there's so many people there on the day watching you, so you kind of have this, zingy pressure. You're like, oh god, I need to do well, I need to perform. Whereas when you're in a booth and it's just you, the audio engineer, the director. You've got a cup of tea beside you. You're having a laugh. You're having
or whiskey,
a chat.
in your case. Yeah.
Or a whiskey. Hey guys, it's 8:30 where I am. I'm allowed whiskey. I promise I don't drink on the job. Yeah, it's quite difficult to your brain can't fathom numbers of that scale. So you kind of just need to do what you think is best and not think about it.
That's been a common response too, because we've had a few people. We make the joke, I know you've met Bill. Bill likes to pull everybody and anybody for NIKKE roles specifically, so a lot of TV actors have had debut VA roles there. And it's the same thing, it's like, it's a lot more comfortable when they do interviews like this, or like if they do appearances at conventions that are virtual. They're like, you know, a lot of them are shy, so they're kind of like, I can just be in my pajamas doing an interview, or like talking to the community.
And I really love drawing the reacts where you guys can just like relax in that chair and be cute. But I would love to know your experience with the differences in recording for a console game like Stellar Blade versus a mobile game like NIKKE.
Yeah, so I guess with Stellar Blade, we spent quite a lot of time on pretty much every line, like trying to make it perfect, and just, you know, we'd kind of talk through the scene beforehand, where we are, where we've just come from, what Eve is thinking. It was a lot like my director was Effie Loy, who was just incredible. And yeah, it was very kind of collaborative, and we talked a lot about the story and feelings and everything. It was almost like being you know, on a TV set. Whereas when we were recording for the collab, it was very fast. So I I wasn't sent the scripts beforehand, so I had no idea what was going on. And so you just kind of rock up.
Sounds like Bill for sure.
I mean, I know like he's not allowed to send things out because I think it's so under wraps, and he obviously doesn't want anything to get leaked and stuff. But you're very you're flying by the seat of your pants when you get in that booth. And he likes just one take of each line. Yeah. So you basically just run the scene and you're just sight reading most of the time. So which, you know, is just a skill really that you can need to have as a voice actor. Even in other jobs that I've done in certain studios, there's people that like to work like that. They don't send anything out beforehand because they think like, well, it's your job as a voice actor to be able to sight read, which is fair. And they think that, you know, you'll sound more kind of like fresh and you won't have pre-prepped anything. So it'll be more kind of honest and real. There are arguments on both sides of that. Sometimes I quite like to prep, especially if there's, you know, I like to look up kind of other characters that I'm maybe talking to, or what the story is, or just any interesting words that I need to pronounce. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what is that? So yes, it was very fast. But there's like I don't know, a zingy, zany joy to that as well, which keeps your energy very high. You have sweaty palms by the end.
Can you give us like an example? Oh, I'm sorry.
You're good.
I was like, can you give us an example of like when you had to really invoke emotion? Like, for example, when like Taki's arm got chopped off, like how did they direct you in that responding to that emotion?
Yes, well, the glorious thing about dubbing Stellar Blade is that I got to watch all of the cutscenes, which you would never normally get to do. So that was incredible. I basically just had, you know, the cutscene in front of me, watching. Yeah, you watch through it once, kind of see what's happening, get the timings right, and then you watch it again as your lines kind of come up at the bottom, and a line swipes over to tell you like when to start talking, and then two lines start closing in on each other rapidly to tell you when to stop talking. So it's a lot of
so
things
different.
Yeah, it was super different to kind of anything that I've done before. and your brain is quite tired by the end of the day. You're watching the scene, you're wanting to do your best kind of just acting honesty in the moment as you would do it, but then you're also frantically watching the timings and your lines at the bottom of the screen as you watch the action that's occurring. So it's a lot of things happening at once. But I think even just the first time that I watched that, I had tears in my eyes. And Effie, the director, was like, "Are you crying?" I'm like, she was like, "Okay, let's record now. Go. You're feeling it."
Emotions. It's natural emotion. Let's go.
It's not write that down. It's hit record now.
That's it.
So you were in a studio for a lot of this for recording, or did you do some of this remotely too for Stellar Blade?
No, it was all in studio, which was great because we which was also because we did HMC, like head-mounted camera, where I had all the dots on my face.
Yeah, you had the motion cap.
Even though
yes,
so even though they'd kind of obviously animated it already in Korean, they changed the face obviously for the English dub so that it kind of matched lip-wise and everything. So yes, I was in studio for that because we had a very talented tech called Luke who was doing all of the dots on the face and everything, and then
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's really it was amazing. There was a few moments though towards the end where I think we were kind of up against the clock and we had to get quite a lot done, and so we were doing double days where you were kind of in for the morning session, lunch, and then the evening session. So that was kind of, it's like 8 hours of recording. And so I had to go for lunch with dots on my face in Soho in the centre of London, because they were like, "Would you mind not wiping them off? Because we kind of don't have time to put them all back on again." Like,
so
sure.
Cool. Yeah, I saw your Twitter pinned tweet. That's what you had on there. It was like a behind the scenes look. That was so cool. Like, so for context, my background is in film production. So when I saw that, I was like, that's so cool, because that's something that I briefly went into for track marking. Was that the first time you've ever done something like that for, well, I assume for like voice acting, yeah. It's probably the first time you've experienced that. Was it cool to just do that experience and do something different in the studio?
It was, yeah, it was amazing. I mean, so for Baldur's Gate, we'd done performance capture, so I was in like the full suit, but they didn't capture my face. Whereas this was kind of the opposite. I got to wear my own clothes, but I have a helmet on and all the dots. So yeah, it was really cool to be able to kind of, I think I became very aware of what my face was doing. But you kind of forget that it's there after a little while until your neck starts to hurt, because it's surprisingly heavy, this helmet and the camera. But yeah, because it has to be really tight on your head as well, so it doesn't jiggle around when you move.
Okay.
So yeah, after a while, you're like, whew, my temples feel squished and my neck is starting to burn.
How long were you in that for?
How long? Yeah, it's gonna be like, how long?
I think we took breaks every kind of hour and a half, like for 10 minutes, and then we'd be back in it. Yeah, so not crazy amounts of time.
It's so much more. We're so used to bringing on, again, like, we mainly interview people from NIKKE, and it's always like, oh, I'm in the studio for like an hour. Bill just like runs through lines, and then we get to hear your experience, and it's like you're running a marathon for Stellar Blade. It's such a different experience from like recording remote for a lot of the NIKKE voice actors. That's so cool that you got to actually interact with the production team for that. I feel like that kind of helps better your performance and really see what the final product is going to be like as well.
Yes.
With how fast you have to record for NIKKE and the way that we kind of understand how Bill works for recording, do you feel like you want to like redo any of the lines because it did go by so fast? Or were you like, oh, I've done Eve for so long, I know exactly how she's supposed to sound even when I'm speed running this?
I think there's probably one or two. I'm always really picky with myself. Like I'll watch anything back, I'll listen to anything back, and I'll be like, maybe would have tweaked that slight intonation at the end of that word. So yeah, inevitably there'll be stuff where I'm like, oh, man, I wish I could re-record that. I think I was quite good. There were certain lines where I was like, nope, I'm doing that again, like straight off the bat. But I think, like, you know, Bill also was very much like, you know Eve better than I do, so you're in control of yeah. He was
very
great
Bill.
with that. He kind of, yeah, so he was like, you do what you think is right. Every so often I might chime in and be like, do you think maybe we could do that line again where it sounds maybe like this? And yeah, so it was, you know, it was fast, but we got to each kind of have our moment where we were like, hang on, sorry, let's go back to line whatever it was and redo that. So no, it was quick, but I wouldn't say it was overly rushed. It was still done very well.
How long was your recording session, if you don't mind saying, for NIKKE's stuff, for Memory Stellar?
Sorry, repeat that question. My brain just went to somewhere completely different.
You're fine. So for the collab event that you did with Bill, how long did you spend just recording for that?
I think it was. So the first, let me think back. The first session was basically just all emotes, which was quite a hefty session. It was like, right, we're just going to do all the fighting in these 2 hours. I was like, okay. So that was fine. And then I think after that, I think it was like, gosh, maybe a total of 5 hours, 4 or 5, over 2 different sessions. If even that long. Yeah, I think we did 2 hours and then another 2 hours, and maybe that was it.
I feel like it's super...
Yeah.
Now that when we came into this series, we had no clue who Bill was, but every time we bring people on, it's always 3 different things. He'll let the actors act out their part how they see, like, or interpret it. He'll only interact or like interject if he needs to, and there's very quick recordings, like 1 takes, if anything. Which I think is the first time, I think personally it's the first time I've heard of a studio doing it in that specific way, because I've talked to a few voice actors before that, but it seems like Bill's very, not carefree, it's like a freestyle that you can do, more so. There's different interpretations of the characters, he kind of lets you roll with it, which is really cool. It's really cool to see.
Mm-hmm. It is, yeah, and I think, you know, he has a lot of trust in the voice actors, which is amazing. And he absolutely will interject if he's like, no. But I get, like, he, you know, I did ask him, I was like, wow, like, you know, you work very fast. And he's like, yeah, I have so many scripts coming in thick and fast. We, like, if we were doing, you know, 4 takes of every line, we'd be here for months. We don't have that timeline. We just need to get it done now. So I was like, okay, cool. So yeah, I think, which is awesome. It's amazing that the story is so vast and there's so many scripts coming in and being written so quickly. So that kind of goes hand in hand with not having the luxury of time.
Yeah. Because I know for Bill, he works on 3 different games simultaneously. So he'll pop in a chat from time to time and he'll be like, oh, I have like a 5-minute break. He's like, all right, I'm recording for 4 hours, bye, and he'll just leave. He'll just come in and leave. Like, he's always recording. Every time he hits me up, he's in the studio. And I'm like, bro, it seems like such a fun job, though, for both the talent and for the people that are aiding with, like, the background work for producing and directing. It just seems like a fun job overall.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I have the best time. I love my job. I really
great.
do. Oh, I absolutely love it. There's moments where you know, you're pushed for time and the week is very long and incredibly busy and you're kind of running all over London and ideally, like, 4 hours is kind of the max amount of time that you would like to record in a day just for your voice. But sometimes it doesn't really work out like that, especially if you have one job in the morning that's 4 hours, but then another job is like, but can we have 4 hours of your time, but straight after that one? So there are some days where it's quite long. I think I did 4 jobs in one day, which was the max that I've done. You know, like kind of 2 hours of each one, and you're just dotting around the place, and you're like, wait, and then who am I now? Who am I playing? Let me just get my tongue in the right place. That was quite busy, but But yeah, I love it. I thrive off it. I have the best time. So yeah, I cannot complain.
Super familiar. I know my chat was saying that you're in WUA as well. You're in Wuthering Waves.
Mm-hmm.
I need to play that game again. I'm so behind. Too many gotcha games. How did you get into, I guess, like, when did you get that role, and how did you get into that? Were you still recording for Eve when you got that role, or?
No, that was really recent. Again, recorded quite quickly. I think I got the part just at the end of last year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was it. And then was recording kind of on and off for a few months. And then all of a sudden it's out, and you're like, oh wow, that was fast. So that's the thing. Like, different games are so different with Stellar Blade, I guess, because it was already, they'd already done all the kind of like cinematics, however you would call it. That came out relatively fast. Whereas then, I guess with Baldur's Gate, that took 4 years from the kind of the beginning of recording to it coming out. So sometimes you just don't know how quickly things are what the turnaround time is. You have no idea.
I think this is also great because NEKKE has a background in gaming and I have a background in film, and it's just like, this is a perfect interview to just
I love
talk about
listening to this.
I guess since you have, you're rather recent in doing voice acting, is there any type of role that you would want to play, or like any type of, I guess, style you want to play for a character, like a specific accent, or like would you want to play an antagonist character or protagonist? Like, what would be your desired role, or like your typecast that you're shooting for voice acting?
Yeah, I feel like I've not really done an antagonist. I'm trying to think. So that would be fun, playing somebody really mean.
Wait, show us your voice. Pretend I'm Raven.
Pretend I'm Raven.
Pretend you're Raven.
I think I auditioned for Raven, I did.
That's crazy.
I did. Yeah. And I had a great time. It was and then obviously was overjoyed to get Eve. So I auditioned for them both.
So cool.
But I had a lot of fun. I think I did the it's kind of, when she's divulging all of her information kind of towards the end, so she's very cynical.
Oh,
and slightly crazed. I got to do that kind of speech. I think it changed towards like when it actually recorded, but yeah, it was like a whole kind of slightly crazed monologue, and I had a great time. But I don't.
Your villain arc is coming.
That's it. I'm ready. I'm so ready. So yeah, I think I would love to play the villain in something. And then I think I would also. I don't play enough Scottish characters. So I would love to play just like a really sarcastic Scottish character in something. I think that would bring me a lot of joy.
I'll hit Bill up really quick. Let me ask if there's a character coming out like that.
That's it.
We don't have a lot of variety like that in NIKKE. That'd be cool though, to bring different accents into the game.
What is it? All like... American?
For the most part. For the most part.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have Jeanne now, but she's also American.
She's evil British.
Yeah. She's evil British, so she's actually American.
I guess.
Yeah, I do American a lot for stuff as well. Mainly for cartoons. I seem to always be American.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've done 3, 2 of which aren't out yet, and they're all of them American.
Oh wow.
Which is nice. Sometimes I feel whenever I do get to kind of do a job in a Scottish accent, I kind of feel like I'm not doing my job properly. Like I'm not.
You're just speaking.
You're just talking.
I'm just speaking. I'm like, I should be doing more than this. I should be. This is.
It can't be this easy.
Yes, that's it. I feel like I should be putting on some kind of accent or some kind of voice different to my own. Otherwise, it's too simple.
How do you go about?
So like,
oh, here we go. Go, Neko.
go ahead.
No, you're fine.
Do it.
Ask question. Go.
I was gonna ask so you've already done so many different roles and you seem to have a lot of different experiences. What is like your next goal? What's your next goal to grow as like a voice actress?
Ooh.
I think probably learn a few more kind of English regional dialects, because whenever you go in for a job, even if you're maybe not if you're playing the lead, then you're playing the lead and they just give you that part and they're quite happy for you just to do that. But if you're playing any other character, most of the time they kind of like you to voice a couple of different NPCs at the same time if you've got spare time in the day.
Yeah,
and so so I think for Baldur's Gate it ended up being I think I was 21 characters.
Oh my
wow.
In the end.
Oh my goodness.
And so there was people that did way more than that. Like everybody was doubling
There's
up and
so many characters in that game though.
so many.
That's wild.
But so they're constantly asking, like, so could you voice this like small Irish child? And you're like,
Okay.
and you just kind of have to come up with stuff. So I've got my go-tos, but I think I would like a few more kind of regional accents in my belt that are passable. Because one thing that I know is frustrating is if you're playing a game and you go up to an NPC and you start chatting, and then especially with the Scottish accent, I'm obviously very I don't know, precious about the Scottish accent. So if I'm chatting to an NPC and I hear that they're clearly not Scottish and they're trying to put one on, I'm like, it's wrong, it's not right. And yeah, we're like, why wasn't I there? I could do it for you. But I understand now after being a voice actor how you're kind of just I wouldn't say pressured, but you pressure yourself to come up with different things. So if you're voicing like a bunch of NPCs on the same day, you want them all to sound different. You want to do the best job that you can. And so if it's getting towards the end of the day and you're kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel, I think by that point a lot of people pull out Scottish from their belt, and maybe sometimes they shouldn't. But I say that, and I know that I've pulled some accents out of the bottom of my barrel, but I'm like, oh, I really hope that doesn't see the light of day or nobody chats to that NPC. But sometimes you do feel a bit kind of, you're like, oh, I think I can do it, and I think it's pretty good. But then you know that if anybody's actually from that region that listens to it, they're going to be like, it's not how we pronounce that word, but it's okay.
If you ever need someone to practice Californian Valley Girl, I'm here for you.
Californian.
That's what I grew up with, so if you ever need that.
You sunlocked her. It's
I
over.
think that's one that I feel like just from American television I seem to have ingrained in my mind.
Oh, good.
You always,
because Hollywood, right? Like,
that's it. You always have those phrases that get you into every accent, and that one is, like, oh my god, I can't believe you did that. Seriously?
That sounds like me sometimes, yes.
Generic. Just walk into a Starbucks, you have good practice. Just sit down for 10 minutes. You'll hear enough. I guess, not singing in the Starbucks, how do you go about tackling different accents for voice acting roles?
Like, how do you study them?
Yeah, how do you study them?
Yeah. So, weirdly, I quite like listening to people that are very good at accents, where I know what their normal accent is, and then I listen to them putting on an accent, and I can hear what they're changing, rather than listening to someone that's actually from that place, which I know doesn't make a huge amount of sense, but somehow, like, obviously it's just people that I trust, where I'm like, I know that you've got that accent down. I think just when you can hear what they're doing, you can then replicate that. Whereas, yeah, like, I don't know. So my dad, for example, is from Norway, but he then has lived in Scotland for years, but then he worked in England for years, and so his accent is like a complete mishmash, and I cannot copy it to save my life. Like, I can hear him in my head, but I wouldn't be able to ever copy him. Whereas I think if somebody like put on his accent, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's it. Oh, I can hear what you're changing. I think I can see how you're putting it on. I could probably do that too. I don't know. It's a weird brain thing, but that seems to work.
Is that kind of what
it
you
makes
did
total sense.
when you were going for Eve? Kind of like doing Eve's voice? How did you come up with the specific voice for Eve? We never asked you that.
Yeah.
So Eve is very RP, like received pronunciation, kind of English. And that's something I've kind of always had in my arsenal. So I've kind of always, from being a kid, had, you know, your general American, which I know is not a thing. America is huge, but that seems to be on so many castings. It's just general American accent. I'm like, okay. So I've always had a general American in my belt, and kind of a south of England, just from growing up in Scotland and all of my television being English and American. So the accent was already there, and then I think it was in the kind of character description that they wanted somebody who was very, maybe like a slightly lower register, stoic, and measured, you know. And I think even when we started recording, that was a note that kind of always came back, was just like, do less, just do less. But I think
that was the direction. Interesting.
Yeah, and I think especially with voice acting, because you know, with film and TV, if you've got a camera in your face, you can tell a lot by just, you know, the slightest movement of an eye. Whereas I think with voice, sometimes you feel as though you have to give a little more to just make sure that it's really coming across. And I think with Eve, it was kind of like, don't do that. don't put, like, don't wear your heart on your sleeve. Don't give away too many emotions, especially at the beginning. And I think that is what gives her such a beautiful arc as well. You know, you see towards the end that the emotions really start coming in, whereas at the beginning, obviously, unless she's in like a dire situation, especially with Taki and things like that, she's very measured and she's very composed, and she knows what her goal is. She knows who she is. She knows what her mission is, and so she's just very kind of, yeah, like just almost neutral. And so I think that I always try to just bring that in and not give too much away, was kind of what I always had in the back of my mind for her.
Oh, that's so interesting. I always listened to her and I was like, oh, she does sound very stoic, and I wondered if that was part of the direction.
Yes.
But yes. Yeah. I can see it now.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, I don't read comments. I don't read reviews. I just so I hopefully it's gone down okay. But yeah, that was very much kind of what they were channeling, and I think it was tricky at the beginning because I'm quite an emotional person, and I do like to kind of emphasize everything that I'm feeling, especially when it comes to voice. But no, towards the end I was like, oh, I understand why they've done it like that, and now whenever there are really emotional bits, it makes it all the more poignant for her. Yeah.
So covering over, I guess, like the process and the fact that you said you don't read a lot of reviews and stuff, have you gone to any like conventions, or have you interacted with the Stellar Blade community at all since you did your role as Eve, or is this kind of like a first time experience for you?
I've only been to one convention, which was last year, which was in Switzerland, and it was a wonderful experience. I had the best time, and so I was there kind of, as Alfira and Eve, but that's the only one that I've been invited to. That was Zurich PopCon, and so I think I hadn't been to any conventions beforehand, so it was a really incredible experience. And I think I just sat in my stall with my mouth like hanging open at everybody's costumes. I was like, can I just walk around instead of sitting in my booth? So yeah, I would love to go to more. I think I'm just waiting to be invited. I don't really know how the whole thing works. So yeah. I would if I'm invited, I'll probably be there. I would love it.
Hey chat, type 1 if you would want Rebecca to go to a US convention. I think if you went somewhere like Anime Expo, it would be insane.
You would explode.
I don't know. Do you know like roughly how big the convention is that you went to? Like if you were to estimate how many people were there, is it like a big convention?
I would be pulling a number from nowhere if I said a number, so I'm not sure. But it felt busy to me. But I'm sure I know that the kind of cons in the States are huge. So
yeah,
it probably was not nearly as big as some of them, but there was certainly a lot of people who were very talented. I wish I could sew costumes like some people can.
Oh, seamstress work. Yeah.
For your reference, Anime Expo last year was 400,000 people.
400,000 people.
It's North
That's
America's
insane.
biggest convention. Yeah.
But
Wow.
I think they would love to have you. Honestly,
They should have
Pyrrhixz
invited
and I
her.
here.
Yeah.
I know we go to a lot of conventions, and what they say is like they want to see more guests, but people have to request for them. So chat, you guys have to request if you want them to be there. It's a little bit harder when they're overseas because they basically pay for part of their trip, but if you really want them, they will get them.
I think it's because chat's saying I think it's good if you go to smaller cons first, just to
They
like
can't
get a
afford
feel
her.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it would be a little bit overwhelming.
I feel like you have such a good your last two casted roles are in Wuthering Waves, which is a massive gacha, and Stellar Blade, which is like the biggest release, one of the biggest releases when it came out. Like, I feel like even at a small con, you might have a ton of people that go, but I don't think you really can. No one's ready for Anime Expo when they go to AX. It is. You wait in line from like 3 in the morning to get in at like 9 when the doors open, and that's like if you have your ticket already. There are people that are like diehards that go to that con, and Nikke has a pop-up booth there, so I'm surprised that they didn't do like a Stellar Blade collab booth. That would have been so cool if it was like Nikke x Stellar Blade. Yeah, I gotta go talk to their marketing team. Sad.
Yeah. I guess that is the thing, like when it's, they're trying to get artists from overseas and paying for flights and accommodation and everything is probably hefty. Oh wow, sorry, so Kanto champion Corey just said that Zurich PopCon had 50,000.
That's crazy. 50K is really high. Like that's like so I know we said 400K for AX, but mid-tier cons for the States are like 10,000 to 25,000. There's a handful of them that are above 50K. So that's a really nice intro then. That's still a ton of people.
Yeah.
That's a ton of people.
Yeah.
But I feel like
If you end up going to Dokumi in Germany, that's like also
Dokumi's good.
180,000.
Yeah, Dokumi's good.
Yeah.
Even as like an
Wow.
attendee, if you want to just walk around, honestly. It might be good to kind of like get a feel of the con scene there too. But definitely, I think that, I know you mentioned the cost for flight and accommodation. I'm going to be that guy and just say that if like the cast of Stellar Blade went like with the ex-Nikke booth, they would make that back like 100-fold. There's no way. The amount of people that got into Stellar Blade from Nikke is... chat, type 1 if you didn't play Stellar Blade until the Stellar Blade collab. How many of you guys hopped on only when Memory Stellar came out? Because literally my entire friend group jumped on it. Like, yeah,
so many people.
Yep. In literally the chat. It's yep. A ton of people hopped on Stellar Blade, and they all got my friends had the problem because they wanted to blast through content, but they were like, oh, if we blast through, there's nothing left to do. So they've been like playing it in moderation.
Very, very good.
But yeah, I'm so excited if you ever have the opportunity to come into this days, because I feel like the audience for both I guess like Wua is also really positive. Wua's positive, Nikke's positive, and then Stellar Blade is also really positive. There might be a ton of people, but definitely the community is one of the best, if I have to speak for them. Like, you'll have a ton of fun if you come over. So request her to come over, chat.
Yeah.
Please.
Please. I don't know who to email to make it happen, so I'm just gonna sit here and wait until I get a call being like, hey, you want to come to blah blah blah? Like, yep. Yes,
honestly,
please.
if you're interested in LA cons, you can literally ask Bill. Like,
yeah,
I feel like Bill would, Bill goes to like all the big cons because he's near the LA area, so he does like meetups with the voice actors and stuff when he's over there.
That's cool.
Yeah, so he probably could have a hand in. I guarantee if like the Nikke team catches wind that like you want to participate in something, they could probably help you, because the North American team is probably different than the EU team. There's different branches for like different parts of the world, but I feel like nobody would be against that. I'm surprised they didn't do it at this convention because of how successful the collab was.
Yeah, and if Bill can't help you, even though I feel like he will point you in the right direction, we do know a few voice actors that have connections to like shift up, I guess, events. So
yeah,
you know, just hit us up.
Oh, I guess
lovely.
I guess that's another thing too. Bill's also really close with Kira Buckland, and she's also big in like the background scene for conventions. I'm kind of like brainstorming because I would love to see you at a con, because it's very unlikely that Neko and I will fly to your neck of the woods.
I still want to go to Dokumi, so maybe we can just like congregate.
It'll be our end of the year trip. We'll go for funsies.
You guys know so much more than I do. I feel very like woefully kind of yes, I know nothing about cons, nothing about how to get into them, nothing about how to go, but yes, I would love to. So
we'd love to
maybe I'll message Bill. Thank you.
When you attended your first convention, did you have like prints that you were signing for people, or was it more like a meet and greet type thing?
Yeah, I had prints. So I am on Streamily, which again somebody had recommended to me, which was lovely of them, because again I would have no idea about any of these things. And then I've had some just incredibly lovely and talented artists draw these kind of beautiful prints of the characters that I've voiced. So yes, I'm on Streamily, and they allowed me to use the prints for the con as well. So I've got some lovely prints from there.
And then we also have the keychain that Neko just made for your. Normally we send them to VAs. I'm pretty sure we can still do it in this case. Just send over a keychain if you'd like one. I will still send one. Yes.
Oh.
You can put it on your mic, or I don't know if you collect stuff that you voice, like character merch, but that's what we do for. Well, I don't do it. Neko draws it, but that's what we do for all the people that come on. We'll do a little art piece and send it to them as a thank you, because again, you're volunteering your time, and this is so crazy that we're able to just chat, about your role and your involvement in Stellar Blade. So that's our little thank you for popping in.
We're so honored.
So
thank you.
kind. Thank you. That's
we're
so kind.
Just avid fans. We're just fans.
Yeah.
That's so lovely. No, I do. I keep everything that anybody has kind of given or sent me. I got a beautiful like a hand-painted miniature Alfira bust at Zurich PopCon, which was just oh man, people are so skilled. So yes, I just ogle at it, and I'm like, how did you do that? It's amazing.
So cool.
That's definitely a lot of the community that you're involved in. Like, a lot of the people from Stellar Blade and Nikke are super tight knit. They'll do stuff like that. Neko would probably roll up to a booth if you were there and just hand you like a hand-drawn Eve. Probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I did that with Amberly Connors on the last convention we went to. I was just like, here's a Maxwell.
Oh, that's amazing. How did you learn to draw? Have you just kind of always known? Did you take classes, or was it just?
Oh no!
You're the
interview has turned around. No, I've been drawing my entire life. I did take a break to try and do like a normal career, but I decided to go back to art. Ultimately, I can't go back. I cannot ignore the passion. So yeah.
I feel like it's
amazing.
a
I
commonality.
wish I could draw.
Because for both you and NEKKE, you obviously established that you care a lot about the roles that you're a part of, and it really translates well in your performance. And well, I haven't seen all of your performances, but I'm going off Stellar Blade. It's so apparent in Stellar Blade, you know. So it's nice to know that you have such a deep passion for the character to like research them. I know when we were talking, you're like, oh, I can look up NIKKE before we do the interview, and I was like, that's so cool. Whenever actors are interested in the, I guess, like the world they're a part of beyond their character, because I cover story content for the game a lot, it's just like so heartwarming to see that you also care deeply about the character's role and then her role in the overall world that she plays a part in. It's just so nice.
Oh,
so
I do.
refreshing.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, I like having as much context as possible before I go into something to voice it. And sometimes you have very little to work off. But anything I can glean, I'll take it. I always want to do the best job that I can, and I do. I get very attached to the characters that I voice, and I always want to kind of do the best by them. But yes, so I knew so little about NIKKE, and it happened so fast.
Yeah.
I think I got an email and was like, would you be interested in doing like a collaboration thing? And I was like, sure. And then all of a sudden I was in the booth and I was like, what is this NIKKE that you so I had to do some frantic reading before I went in to record, and obviously, you know, there's I saw, you know, you've got the breakdown of like, you know, chapters 0 to 3 and then 3 to 6 or whatever, you know, on your YouTube.
There's like 38 chapters, so I'm only up to like.
There's so much. Yeah. so I was like, okay, so I can't know the entire story, I don't think, but I can know basically, you know, the premise.
I'm so sorry. I should have recommended. I just sent you the whole channel, and that's my fault. I'm sorry. I should have just sent you. I have timeline videos. The one thing that a lot of us noticed that played NIKKE first and then Stellar Blade was the fact that the plot lines, the overall, I guess, like the world that they're in are very similar. We're not fighting Nitiba, but we're fighting Raptures, which are, we don't know where they came from. Like, there's a history in Stellar Blade for the origins, but we don't know yet. But it's the same thing, like, you know, humanity is locked in a war with an adversary. They're underground in NIKKE. There's a lot of random corruption, bullshit go burr throughout the story. And we're right now still in the prologue in chapter 38. So there's a 10-year plan for NIKKE, and we don't know where the story is going right now in terms of, like, if we're going to getting at that backstory or not. So I guess it was good going over to Stellar Blade and seeing kind of like a full-scale timeline, you know, a definitive timeline of how everything happened. Because NIKKE loves doing the thing where they just don't tell us shit, and they just say, keep playing the game. And keep playing the game for, like, years. Yeah.
You will eventually find out why. Wow, that's because I do remember, because I obviously, you know, read up a little bit about NIKKE before I went in to record the collab, just so I kind of had a rough idea what universe I was in. And yeah, like it is interesting the kind of similarities that they share. So, and I was like, well, and it's hard to know. So, are NIKKEs fully robots? Are they partially human?
The brain is the only thing that's organic left. Everything else is a mechanical body. So
yes,
yeah, it's just I don't know. It's like a huge debate, cyborg, whatever. It's just the fact that their bodies are not human anymore. But they appear that way because if they appeared any differently, they would basically undergo kind of like a mental collapse or a mental snap, and then they would go rogue. So there's countermeasures.
The story between NIKKE and Stellar Blade is actually very similar, so I think you probably have an idea of how it feels.
Yeah.
Yes. But then that was a huge discussion we were having when we were recording as well, because I think, you know, Eve at a few points says like, oh, we're human. And I was like, well, at what point in the storyline?
You don't even know. We didn't know either. We're like, we're
yes. So that was me that flagged that. We were recording it, and then the line came up like, we're human, and I was like, a minute. Where in Eve's timeline is this intersection happening? And does she know yet that she's Andro Eidos or not? Spoilers. So yeah. So they were like, good point. Let's go away and ask that question. So yeah, it's an interesting one. So and then I was trying to work out like, so technically is Eve the same as the NIKKEs, but like slightly different because she is an android, but then has anyway. It's just it's a bit of a mind mush sometimes.
I'm glad that you also caught that, because I think most playthroughs that I've watched of the collab event, they're like, where is NIKKE loves doing that too. A timeline does not exist. They'll say XX year July, and it'll just be that like something's happening. They don't give us a date or whatever, so we don't know what's going on. And then this event came out, I'm like, wait a minute, does she know? And I was like, Chad, when is this set? And nobody could answer. And I was like, we're all just clueless.
Yeah, we are.
Good. Okay, it's not just me. That's fine.
It translated to us too.
Great.
But I know that you were on a time constraint. We don't want to keep you for too long. We are approaching the end of the interview, so if you don't mind, we can start going into audience questions, unless Neko has one more thing to ask.
Nope, I'm ready for questions.
All right, chat. You guys have 15 minutes because it is nighttime where Rebecca is right now. Thank you again for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, no, it's all good. I mean, it's only 9:15, but I am an old woman at heart, and I have a big day ahead tomorrow, so I'm going to be like winding down and going to my bed. I know, I'm a party animal. What can I say?
We have a question from Gurus. Would you like a Stellar Blade 2?
Yes, of course. If they invite me back, I will be there with bells on, without actual bells, because they'd be very annoyed in the booth. But yes, I would be there.
They announced a roadmap, I think, for 2027 for like another Stellar Blade. Yeah,
that would be very, very cool.
And then, are you? So they're asking if you've spoken to. I know you haven't spoken to any of the Stellar Blade cast, right? Like any of the other actors.
No, isn't that insane? Like,
that's
so I know,
crazy.
I know Rosie from just kind of, I think we've interacted on Twitter every so often, like, we should meet up because, you know, we should know each other. But then we still haven't. Yes, and then I did meet Nazar because Effie, who voices Adam, because Effie, our incredible director, did get us both in the booth at the same time.
Oh, that's sick.
For the kind of big, you know, ending showdown between the two of us, because she was like, she was like saying to Sony, she was like, we need these actors in at the same time, they need to look each other in the eyes while they're talking, and they were like, we don't really work like that. She was like, it's happening, we're making it happen. And I'm so pleased that she did, because it makes such a difference. I think just especially to kind of match energies and everything. So I've met Nazar and I've worked with him, which was an absolute delight. But yeah, apart from that, no, it's quite a lonely business being a voice actor. You never get to meet really any of. I said, woe is me, the world's tiniest violin. I get to, you know, work with incredible directors and audio engineers and everything, but you rarely get to kind of meet the other actors that you're working with.
It's very different from TV acting, because you'll have everybody on set. You'll have the full cast there.
Yes, exactly. Really different. Yeah.
So are you
So
familiar
does that
with...
mean if we do a group interview with Raven and Lily and yourself, you would totally be down for that?
Oh, I would be so down for that. It would just be us being like, oh my god, hey, oh my god, it's so nice to meet you.
You need to the react for the react for Eve needs to be like her holding an Adam body pillow, or not Eve, sorry, Raven, and it's just like whenever they talk, they're like fully distanced apart. We can't put them on the same couch. They have to be on two different couches. Lily's just in the middle.
The couches in the left and right of us.
Yes.
Okay, so we have some random. Okay, this was answered.
If Eve was to get another outfit, and she already has a lot in the game, but if she was to get another outfit and you can choose what it is, what would it be?
Oh.
I can like design an outfit.
Yes.
Ooh. That's hard. Oh no, because my answer is just not going to be what anybody wants. But
you mean like the bottom's not showing?
Yeah. What? Oh man. Okay, no. So I'll change. So I think I would like her to be in the outfit that Sandy wears at the end of Grease. That would be my outfit for her.
Nekko's writing that down. Nekko's writing that down. So the reason why we asked that question is we brought on a few VAs where we've asked that question too, and one particular VA had kind of like an outfit design in mind, like a more casual outfit design, and it just so happened that NIKKE released a skin that looked exactly like what she described. So someone's listening. Someone's listening.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say what my initial thing was, because this is never gonna happen. So my favorite kind of time period for clothes is the 40s, and so I'm just picturing Eve in this like beautiful fit and flare dress with this like gorgeous coat, and an incredible kind of slightly high-heeled Mary Jane shoes. So that's my favorite look. That's not going to happen, but we'll know that somebody's listening if somehow Eve appears in that outfit, which is completely not in keeping with the character.
It's okay. I think Eve looks so cute in a vintage dress.
That would be cool though. So now that you're a little bit more familiar with, I guess, the NIKKE world, being that you voiced in the event for it, what was it like, I guess, interacting with new characters that weren't the normal Stellar Blade cast and kind of getting to know them a little bit more? Did you look into any of those characters that you're interacting with, like Pyrrhixz, Anise, Neon, Rappy, Eleg?
Yes. So I think especially after that first session, and I'd kind of, chatted with Bill, and he was like, oh, okay, so like, do a bit of your Eve voice. Oh wow, right, okay, well that's gonna be hilarious, kind of, when paired with Anise. And I was like, oh, is it? Okay, cool. And so then, yeah, I did kind of go home and watch a few videos on them. But I definitely, I don't know them well enough to be like, oh, this would be my favorite character or anything. I would need to do like a major kind of deep dive, I think.
There's a lot.
But
yeah.
I know, yeah. Yeah. So no, I roughly knew kind of the characters that were going to be in this collab story. And then I was really lucky to, in the last session that we did, I think pretty much everybody else had been recorded apart from me, which was a very lucky position to be in. So I got to kind of listen to everybody before. Yeah, I know, which is really rare. Because I'd said to Bill, it doesn't happen. And it wasn't in any way, shape, or form a demand. It was more Bill had asked, like, how do you like to work? And I was like, well, I mean, like, ideally, I love hearing what other people have done before I say what I'm going to say.
Good timing, yeah.
But obviously, like that never really happens. And he was like, see what I can do. So I felt very honored to kind of be given that lucky position in recording where I got to kind of hear everybody back and then say what I was going to say. So yeah, I got to hear them a bit while we were recording,
cool.
Which was great. Yeah.
Since you did some research, is there any one that you particularly liked design-wise for NIKKE's?
I don't know. This is where my terrible kind of like non-artistic brain fails me.
It's okay.
So no, I think I would just be pulling somebody from any random place, and I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna go away, and I'm gonna look at like an entire character board of all of them.
There's 150 nearly. That's a lot. Yeah.
But I will, because I don't want to just say a random person. People will be like, oh well, this is Rebecca's favorite NIKKE, and I'm like, no, I didn't do my research hard enough.
That's fair.
So no, I don't know yet. I don't know yet.
And I know earlier you mentioned that you want to do more of an antagonist type character. If you had the opportunity to, would you want to voice an antagonist in NIKKE if the chance arose?
Oh my god, 100%. Yeah, I mean, towards the end of the session, Bill did ask, like, can you do an American accent? I'm like, yes. He was like, okay, well, noted. So I was like, Don't tempt me like that, Bill. Don't
Oh my
tempt
God.
me. So
No, Bill does that. Yeah.
hopefully,
Bill does that for sure. He loves teasing.
So
if he messages and is like, "Hey, you want to come on as an antagonist?" I'll be there.
I'd be so down for that. Bill will do this thing. Well, he messaged me when the Stellar Blade collab got announced, and he was like, "Oh, that got announced," and he sent me like a bunch of pictures of him like working on stuff, and he was like groovy. He'll send me random updates when they're recording, and I was like, "Oh, damn, that's cool. You got to talk to Stellar Blade cast," and he was like, "Yes, very, very. I'm still working," and he'll just die for like 5 days. Bill comes in like. He comes in waves, you know? He'll talk to you, and then he'll die for like 5 days, and then he's back again. So I was super excited. The first thing I asked him was, I was like, you think they want to do an interview? And he was like, oh, reach out to them. And I was like, you know what? That's fine.
I will.
I'll do that. Thank you so
Good
much.
idea. Okay.
Thank you for reading your message requests. I'm sure there's questionable messages you get on Twitter. Thanks for actually reading mine. I remember when you.
No, every so often I'm quite delayed in replying because.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
I'm so rarely on Twitter. And then there's always the other folder that I never check until I do, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
oh God, I don't reply to anyone.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when you replied, I remember I was just laying down in bed, and I was like, oh, I got a DM from someone, because normally it'll be people like asking about Nikke's story, or it's like random bots that say that I don't know, like they're my long lost wife or something to claim Bitcoin money. So I guess I don't read it. So then I saw that and I was like, oh my God, I literally like shot out of bed and I was like, Neko, when do you want to do this? Neko, please answer.
Oh, that's so lovely.
We were very excited. I'm like, as soon as possible, take the soonest date.
Like we've done
brilliant.
This is again like the 20th installment that we've done, but I kid you not, every time we bring somebody on, it's such an honor to just talk to people behind, you know, our favorite IPs or like our favorite characters. So it's a great honor to be able to have you come on and just chat with us, you know, like we're at a bar or something together talking about your work career. It's so cool to be able to like, share that with people here.
This is such a lovely, just chill interview. Yeah, I just feel like I'm having a chat. Also, the fact that it's audio only is an absolute joy. I like an hour beforehand, I was like, oh, I need to go and put makeup on.
Oh
and
no,
then
you're
I
okay.
messaged like, is it audio? Great.
Yeah, that's also why we're in characters, or at least for me too.
I am literally in my pajamas. I got out of bed, ran to McDonald's to get like coffee, ran back, set up my the scene, and I was like, all right, Neko, you awake? And I was like, Neko, please wake up. Our interview's in an hour. I was like, wake up, wake up.
Wake up.
But no, it was like you started at, did you start at 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. for this interview?
8, yeah.
That's wild.
So not bad.
This is the most time difference we've had between guests on an interview as well. It's like 10 a.m. for me. It's 4 p.m. for Neko.
Yep.
It's 9 for you.
Yeah, as soon as you said like, oh, so we're in Hawaii, Virginia, and London, I was like, okay, let's do some time zone math. Where is that gonna?
I'm really thankful because I used to work for a company that was based in the East Coast, and their board meetings were at 6 a.m. So that means my meetings were at midnight, or if they did 8, it was 2. So I'm very, very thankful that you considered that I'm a normal human and sleep in during the weekend a little bit. 9 a.m. is a lot better than like a 4 a.m. call, you know? So
yes.
Really.
No. I think that worked. It was perfect.
Also, yeah, chat. Rebecca set the time. That wasn't even us. She suggested it like immediately, and I was like, I don't even have to do my job. It's done. That's so great. The time, schedule, everything was there, and the fact that you were willing to do it this weekend also worked out really well for us too, because July is going to be hectic, and I did not want to pass up the opportunity to be able to talk to you today.
It was meant to be. It was absolutely meant to be.
Well,
I'm currently just like looking up. I'm trying to find if there's like a Nikke board of characters with all of the different characters and their names under them, but I can't see it because now I'm just intrigued as to who kind of, I don't know, would have the like my favorite style. Who would have like, and really difficult to find.
I feel like tier
Just,
list
like,
would be the
all of
best
them.
one, but there's no names on it, is the thing.
Oh, this
Nikke-
one.
Then I just
Oh, Nikke might have
send
found
it.
one. Yeah. We're nerds. We know too much about Nikke. It's my literal second job.
good. Well, I'm intrigued now, so I need to know for myself.
Oh, that's true. Nikke Wiki will have the... I think if we just go on behind the voice actors, too, it has all the roles and the characters. Shift Up hasn't made an online Nikkepedia. Nah, the Shift Up just bugs the game.
They're gonna put it into like blah blah if they did.
That's true, but Blah Blah is also terrible. The layout's terrible right now.
Yeah.
Gets it on every server.
At the minute, one of the favorite kind of looks that I've seen is Diesel. I think she looks
Oh!
Ooh.
Thank God. We have a friend that, like, we always make fun of him because Diesel's kind of more of the underrated characters. If he's here and he heard that, he would be freaking out right now. But the fact he's not freaking out means he's not here.
But he's not here.
Diesel is also like a very sweet character. She's very down to earth. Tragic backstory, but all the Nikkes have tragic backstories. But yeah, that's honestly like a unique choice. A lot of people gravitate towards like people from counters, so like Anise, Neon, Rappy, Pyrrhixz is also a big one. A lot of people like the visually appealing characters as well. Characters with assets. GF material for sure.
I mean,
You can't see assets on this list.
good.
no, they all look incredible, and they all look really unique, and their you know, outfit designs and everything are phenomenal. But yeah, I don't know, that one just stood out.
It is it's very different, I guess, coming from a game that has a smaller set of cast to like a game with over 100+ characters in the game. That's a gotcha for you. That's a gotcha.
Yeah. I was like, there's only so much research I can do here. I can't know every character.
I mean, if you're ever interested in anybody specifically, if I don't have a video for it, I can send you like something that somebody else might have covered. Nikke lore is like very... It's not covered by a lot of people. I always tell people that I want more coverage on it so I can retire earlier. But I'm glad that there's a lot of people... I don't know if you've seen like Stellar Blade lore, but there's a lot of content creators that cover the full history of the game, like different small interactions in the game. So it's really nice for somebody, you know, that hasn't played the game to just go and familiarize with the story. But yeah, if you have any questions ever, we're both locked into Nikke. We're more than happy to help.
Definitely.
Thank you.
And I know we are running low on time, so if you don't have any other questions, Neko, and if you're okay with it, Rebecca, we can wrap up and let you finish off your whiskey for the night and get some nice rest before tomorrow.
Thank you so much, guys.
Of course. We'll be in touch, if anything. If we do the interview with the rest of the cast, it might be in the distant future, because I don't think... The next couple months for Neko and I are really hectic. I don't know if we're going to be able to do anything until like September, if you're still open later on in the year.
Cool. Yes, thus far, yes.
Awesome.
My diary
We were
for
always
September is open.
scheduling. We're always scheduling like months in advance.
We will.
We got something that was like really near. We're like, oh my goodness, we can do this like next week.
That's why when you suggested this weekend, I was like, Neko, it's this weekend. We can't miss this. The rest of the dates we can't do. So we just
Like, okay, sounds great.
I didn't want to sound desperate and be like, oh my god, yes, please, can we do that one? So I was like, yeah, we'll just take this weekend if it's not too much to ask for.
You sounded very cool and casual, and I was like,
screaming.
great, that works so well. So no, it was meant to be.
It was meant to be.
And
This has
yeah,
been
hey,
lovely
look,
too.
if Bill brings me back as an antagonist, I will absolutely be hitting you up to be like, okay, I need all of the lore, I need all of the goss, I need to know everybody.
You can't. This is why I'm happy I'm not on screen. I'm like self-imploding, but it's all facial expressions. So I'm glad that it's just my little idiot model on screen. Nobody can tell. But yeah, I mean, it's been really nice having you. Thank you so much for coming on. I think Neko's gonna close this one out. So go ahead, Neko. You can also plug the keychains and the poster that you made that I saw you post a link for in chat. You can send it again if you want, and we'll give it over to you after that, Rebecca. And like we said before the stream started, just signing off, thanking people for coming is Eve, and then that will be our cutout. We'll say our goodbyes, and then you can be on your way for the night.
Lovely.
All right, Neko.
Yes.
Without further ado.
So our first thank you is going to be thank you to Rebecca Hanssen for coming on as Eve. We appreciate you so much and for your time. And it has been an amazing interview. Thank you so much. Thank you for Pyrrhixz for hosting, and chat for being here, sticking around. And we will be posting this on YouTube very, very soon. All right, then. I'm going to toss it over to Rebecca for the sign-off.
Thank you for joining, my comrades. You've been a wonderful audience. May your memories live on forever. Eve, signing off.